of one of the most underrated and, frankly, unbelievable creatures on Earth. Meet the Epaulette shark, small, about a meter long, covered in sandy, spotted patterns that make it almost invisible against the ocean floor. And those two dark spots near its fins, they look like eyes, but they're not. They're called epaulettes, like decorative shoulder patches, and they confuse predators into thinking the shark is facing the opposite direction. It's not flashy, it's not fast, but it's one of the most resilient animals ever discovered. Now here's the part that sounds like science fiction. Instead of relying on constant swimming like most sharks, the Epaulette shark uses its fins almost like legs. Watch this. Visual. Shark crawling across reef. It pushes, steps, glides, and drags itself across the ocean floor. Why? Because when the tide drops, swimming isn't an option anymore, so it walks from one tide pool to another, searching for food, escaping danger, surviving in a world that literally disappears beneath it twice a day. But walking isn't even its most impressive ability. This shark can survive in conditions with almost no oxygen. Let that sink in. Most animals, humans included, start suffering brain damage within minutes without oxygen, but the Epaulette shark can go for hours. Scientists discovered that it actually shuts down parts of its brain to conserve energy. It slows its heart, reduces its metabolism. It enters a kind of biological standby mode. It doesn't fight the lack of oxygen, it adapts to it, and this is where things get personal. Because when I first heard about this, I thought, there's no way. No animal just casually survives oxygen deprivation like that. So I came here to see it for myself. And what happened next, I wasn't prepared for. The water is dropping fast now. These pools are getting warmer. Oxygen levels are crashing. This is where most marine life starts to struggle. Fish panic, crabs scramble. Everything is trying to escape. Everything except the Epaulette shark. There, look, it's just lying there. Still, waiting. At first, it looks like it's dying. No movement, no urgency. But then, a slow twitch, a subtle shift. It's not dying. It's conserving. This shark has evolved to outlast the chaos. While everything else reacts, it endures. Researchers believe this ability could hold clues for human medicine. Imagine if we could protect the brain during strokes the same way, or preserve organs longer for transplants. The Epaulette shark isn't just surviving, it's teaching us. And yet, most people have never even heard of it. When the tide returns, the transformation is instant. The shark becomes active again, almost like flipping a switch. It hunts small fish, worms and crustaceans trapped in the reef. No rush, no aggression, just quiet efficiency. It doesn't need to dominate the ocean, it just needs to outlast it. And this is where the real story hits. We've spent decades portraying sharks as monsters, but the truth? Some of them are survivors in ways we barely understand. The Epaulette shark isn't terrifying, it's revolutionary. And here's the part that should make you pause. As climate change lowers oxygen levels in oceans around the world, species are struggling. But this shark, it might already be prepared for the future. While others collapse, it adapts. And if you're wondering where a creature like this actually lives, it's not in the deep, dark ocean like most sharks. The Epaulette shark calls the shallow coral reefs of northern Australia and Papua New Guinea home. We're talking about water so shallow. At low tide, it can drop to just a few centimeters deep. Places like the Great Barrier Reef, especially the reef flats and tidal zones, are its playground. But playground might not be the right word, because this environment is brutal. Temperatures swing, oxygen disappears, water vanishes, and yet, this is exactly where it thrives. But survival isn't just about enduring, it's about continuing. And the way this shark reproduces is just as fascinating. Epaulette sharks lay eggs, small, leathery cases, often called mermaid's purses, get tucked safely into coral crevices. Inside, a tiny shark begins to develop. No parental care, no protection beyond placement, just time and resilience. After about 4 months, a fully formed miniature shark emerges, already equipped to handle the same harsh conditions as its parents. No training, no guidance, just instincts. And here's something else most people don't realize. These sharks aren't just tough, they're long-term survivors. In the wild, Epaulette sharks can live up to 20 to 25 years. That's decades of navigating collapsing tides, oxygen crashes, and shifting reefs. Think about that. An animal living its entire life in an environment that disappears twice a day, and still managing to outlast most of its challenges. That's not luck. That's mastery of survival. And while they may feel rare, Epaulette sharks are actually more widespread than you'd expect, if you know where to look. They're commonly found along the northern coasts of Australia, especially Queensland, and across the island reefs of Papua New Guinea. But here's the catch. Because they're small, nocturnal, and live in these shifting tidal zones, most people never see them. They've been hiding in plain sight this whole time. Now you might be thinking, if it's this powerful, what could possibly threaten it? Ironically, bigger sharks, and birds, and even humans. Because despite all its adaptations, the Epaulette shark is slow, exposed. It doesn't outrun danger. It survives by not being worth the chase, by blending in, by staying unnoticed, by turning invisibility into its best defense. And here's where things get almost unbelievable. Scientists have found that populations of these sharks are already showing signs of adapting to even lower oxygen levels, not over millions of years, but within measurable timeframes. That means evolution isn't just history. With this species, it's happening right now. Even the way it moves is calculated. Walking instead of swimming uses less energy in these tight, shallow spaces. It's not just a quirky trait, it's efficient. Every movement is optimized for a world where energy and oxygen are limited. And unlike many sharks, the Epaulette shark poses almost no threat to humans. Divers can get incredibly close. Some have even watched them walk right past their feet. No aggression, no fear displays, just quiet indifference. It's not interested in us, and maybe that's why we've overlooked it. But here's the reality. Even a survivor like this isn't invincible. Coral reef destruction, pollution, climate change. The very environment that shaped this shark is changing faster than it can adapt. And if we lose ecosystems like this, we don't just lose a species. We lose everything it could have taught us. There's something else happening here, something easy to miss if you're only watching for movement. Because the Epaulette shark isn't just reacting to its environment, it remembers it. Studies suggest these sharks can build a kind of mental map of their reef, learning pathways between pools, safe zones, and feeding spots. Think about that for a second. This isn't random wandering. When the tide drops and the landscape fractures into isolated pockets, this shark already knows where to go. Which path leads to water? Which path leads to food? And which path leads nowhere? That changes everything. Because now survival isn't just about physical adaptation, it's about awareness. And then there's timing. The Epaulette shark is mostly nocturnal. Not because it has to be, but because it's smarter to be. At night, temperatures drop. Oxygen levels stabilize slightly. Predators are less active. So instead of fighting the harshest conditions head-on, it shifts its entire lifestyle around them. It doesn't just adapt to the environment, it schedules around it. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Unlike fast-moving predators that rely on bursts of energy, this shark plays the long game. Its metabolism is naturally low, which means it doesn't need to eat as often. It can go longer between meals, longer between risks, longer between moments of exposure. In a place where every movement could cost energy or oxygen, that restraint is a massive advantage. Now watch closely. When it approaches prey, there's no dramatic chase, no sudden attack, just slow, deliberate positioning. And then, quick precision, done. Minimal effort, maximum efficiency. It's not trying to dominate the reef, it's trying to outthink it. And maybe that's the most overlooked part of this animal. We tend to measure strength in speed, size, aggression. But the epaulette shark doesn't win by being stronger. It wins by being adaptable, by being patient, by understanding limits, and working within them instead of against them. Because in this environment, fighting the rules gets you killed. But working with them, that's how you survive. And the more time you spend watching this shark, the more you realize it's not just enduring a harsh world, it's perfectly designed for it. Every movement, every pause, every decision, nothing wasted, nothing rushed, which raises a question that's hard to ignore. If survival here depends on being this precise, this efficient, this aware, then how many other creatures are out there doing extraordinary things, quietly, simply because we haven't been paying attention? What makes the epaulette shark so fascinating isn't just what it can survive, it's what it represents. For decades, sharks have been branded as symbols of fear, fast, violent, ruthless. But then you meet a species like this, and that entire image starts to fall apart. Because this shark isn't built around domination. It's built around balance. Its life is shaped by rhythm, the rhythm of tides, the rhythm of temperature shifts, the rhythm of day and night. It exists in constant negotiation with its surroundings, not forcing control over nature, but syncing with it. And honestly, that might be the more powerful strategy. There's a lesson hidden in that. Not every survivor wins through force. Some survive because they know when to move, when to wait, and when conserving energy is smarter than chasing every opportunity. The epaulette shark is living proof that nature doesn't reward one strategy. It rewards the right strategy for the environment. And in one of the most unstable habitats on Earth, this tiny walking shark somehow figured it out. What I find incredible is how easy it would be to miss all of this. You could walk right past a tidal reef, look into a shallow pool, and never realize one of the most biologically impressive sharks on the planet is sitting just beneath the surface. No dramatic soundtrack, no giant dorsal fin, no spectacle, just quiet brilliance. And maybe that's why this species is so compelling. It reminds us that some of nature's greatest stories aren't loud, they're subtle, hidden in places most people never stop to examine. And that's exactly why channels like this exist. There's an entire world of animals doing things that sound completely impossible, until you actually look closer. And once you do, you realize reality is way stranger than fiction. So if you're into discovering creatures, ecosystems, and survival strategies that most people have never even heard of, make sure you subscribe to Nature Frontier, because this is just one species, one reef, one story, and trust me, we're only scratching the surface.